Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the country. It's Mark from SolidCAM. We'll be doing our 30-minute free training session today for SolidCAM Live. With me, as always, is Kevin Rankel. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going?
So today, I thought we would kind of finish up what we talked about yesterday, what we started talking about yesterday, in terms of how to streamline your software, your hardware, anything really to help you with kind of making things a little quicker in terms of calculation, loading, simulations, any of that kind of stuff. And that is pretty much going to be what Kevin will be talking about, because he's done this a lot for most of our customers. It's the kind of thing that if you call into the main tech support line and you either mention as part of another issue you bring up, or you just call in directly about that, it's the kind of thing that guys like Kevin and the rest of the guys on the team could take a look at your system, review it, kind of do like a little cleaning of the house kind of thing to make sure that everything's streamlined, everything's set up. And that's kind of what I'm going to get Kevin to do. So Kevin, take it away.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about this before, but Mark, do you just want to give me a keyboard and mouse?
Yep.
Make it a little bit easier that way.
Okay, it's all yours.
All right. So one thing that it was new in 2019, and they started a little bit in the late 2018, is the optimized geometry database. Now, for everyone, this should be turned on automatically for you if you guys are running a newer version. But just to double check, if you'd like, go ahead and open up your SolidCAM settings and go to synchronization. And see where down here, there's this checkbox where it says create new CAM parts with optimized geometry database. I think we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but you can go in here and any old parts that you guys are pulling up, what you can do is optimize that database in there. And what it will do is it basically remove all the old geometry tags and then import the new geometry tags with a much faster pattern or a much faster way of doing it. So if we just hit OK here, and I'm just going to go to Mark's last part here. And one way to tell if this has been optimized for you is you can come over to where it says CAM part, right click, and come down to optimize geometry database. So with this part, I can tell Mark created this part not too long ago because it's grayed out. So it's already using the optimized geometry database there. But if you guys come in here and, like I said, are running a older project or maybe from 2018, and it's taken some time to open and close along with saving calculation, click this. And what it will do is it will go through and you'll see it removing geometry tags and then reapplying new geometry tags in there. And that's going to speed up the process, not only of your saving calculation time, but is also going to speed up the process of opening and closing the file. So if you guys are seeing a long leg with the opening and closing of the file, that's where you can kind of go and optimize that right there as well.
Yeah, and this is really helpful for when you have parts that are super large. I think there was one that that Kevin was working on last month where it was really simple in terms of the toolpath. It was probably just a series of holes, but because there was maybe 100 or more holes, there's just so many geometry tags for it to be calling up and all that. So opening and closing that file took forever. But as soon as you ran that optimization, it actually was opening as if it was just a simple file, right?
Yep.
Right, Kevin?
Absolutely.
You remember you were working on
Yep.
that one?
Yep.
It was either holes or pockets, but the idea is the same. So it's the geometry tags, and again, like Kevin said, we talked about this once before, the associativity, the way that SolidCAM is associating and defining things in terms of geometry, it's calling out those geometry tags from SolidWorks. So the optimization database literally will just clean all that up, either probably in the background, maybe put them in order or reassign them or something like that. But what it does is it basically streamlines everything in terms of the geometry side. And then once the geometry is cleaned up, then the toolpath is cleaned up. And that opens and closes a little quicker as well.
Yep. And one thing that you guys can also do is if you guys are sharing parts and you're emailing back and forth, another thing that you can do to improve the performance of your SolidCAM is right when you're done programming that part, you're done finished with it, come over and right click where it says CAM part and come down to where it says cleanup CAM part. And this will reduce the size of that file by removing any G-code files that are in there. And we can do a select all, but maybe there's tools that are in there that you still want to keep, so you can do the remove unused tools. And depending on how many operations you have in here and how many times you pick different geometries, this will also reduce the file size for you, which is going to make things faster for you as well. So definitely come there, and maybe when you're done programming the part or even halfway through, just clean up any of the unused geometries that are there, as well as the fixtures, and because everything is being stored over here. So
Yep.
if I cancel out of here.
So when we say unused geometries, we're referring to anything not assigned to a toolpath, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So it would
When
not
you-
delete any current toolpath or any current geometries that are being used. It will
that are
just
assigned to a toolpath.
yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly.
So especially when you're adding toolpaths, removing toolpaths, simulating, doing solid verify back and forth, a lot of this stuff gets stuck in the background. It gets saved in the background in case you want to revert back or anything like that. So it's a good idea to get rid of that, because once you've moved on, you no longer use that toolpath, or you no longer are using that same stock verification model. It's a good idea to delete it because it gets stuck in the background in the temporary folder. And there are times when you've overloaded that folder. You got so many different stock update models or so many geometries. Sometimes there could be a little bit of a glitch that when you do that CAM part cleanup, your toolpath actually calculates a lot faster, and kind of like what we're talking about here in terms of optimization. But it's always a good idea to get that done either while you're working on the part, especially when you're doing 3D work, or even when you're done. I think, Kevin, isn't there an option to automatically do a CAM part cleanup when you either close or open a file?
Yep, that is an option in the SolidCAM settings for you guys, so it will automatically do that for you, so you don't have to manually do that every time. And to tell you exactly where it is, I have to find it here.
Is it in the part settings, or is it in the
I can't
global
remember.
settings?
Must be in the global settings here. Oops. All right, and it's going to be somewhere in here. Cleanup CAM part. So by turning this on, when we do a part close, we can actually tell it to, all right, remove any of the unused stuff that is there. So this can be set up as an automatic option for you guys. And like I said, I definitely recommend it. The only one I wouldn't do, just because if you guys are bringing in a lot of tools and stuff like that, and there's going to be some tools you may bounce back and forth with, just leave this one unchecked, because it will delete out any unused tools that are there. So.
Yep.
And then another spot as well is the temporary folder. You want to kind of keep this managed quite often, just because if you guys are doing a change model reference or you're making copies of a part, there should, if SolidCAM has nothing open, like right now, there should be nothing stuck in your temporary folder. And what I mean by the temporary folder, I'll have to wait for, there it is. If we go to CAM part, this is where your temporary folder is. And what this does is it's temporary saving files to this location while you're working on it. And then when you properly close out of the SolidCAM project, it will extract it out of here. So let's just spy on Mark and see, bring your file explorer over for me.
I didn't even, oh, okay, there it is. I guess, yeah, there it is.
And this should always
so I'm following good practices here.
Yeah. And this location should never be moved. it should always be stayed at the default. You do not want this going to the network or to Dropbox or anything like that. And, you know, looks like Mark's got quite a bit of stuff in here, which, like I said, we should not have anything in here at a time, except for there may be some job info files that are in there, but that is it. So cleaning up this area will also help with the performance of your SolidCAM. Now, in 2020, they have implemented that in there, so you can do that with the SolidCAM settings, so it will clean up any unused files in there. And that is under the miscellaneous, section 2, temporary directory cleanup. So when you go to open up a part file or close out of a part file, it will automatically go into that temporary folder and clean it up and make sure nothing is getting deleted that should be deleted, or removing additional files that are there for you guys. So, and you'll see a different dialog actually pop up, and we'll do it on Merck's here when we turn that option on. So now if we go back to his recent parts, so it's telling me that he's got a whole lot of stuff in here that needs to be cleaned up. So we can say delete all, or we can kind of go through and cherry pick of what we want in there. And if we don't want to worry about it this time, we can just click the continue checkbox and continue on. So there is that option there for you guys as well. And maybe
so the question might come up, because I have the question because it's my own system. All that stuff is still there, but I know I've properly closed the files like we always tell people to do. So why would I still have stuff in my temporary folder?
So you can have stuff stuck in your temporary folder from, like Mark said, you know, if you don't properly close out of the file, if you just go up to SolidWorks and hit the exit button on the top right, that's one way. But there's other ways that it will get stuck in there. You know, if you guys have like a power surge or something that would just click the power on and off for a second, there are a couple different ways. I can't think, you're putting me on the spot here. I can't think right offhand what causes things to go in there. Sometimes I've seen it is if this operation was not calculated, and then we came over here and made a copy of this part file. So if this file wasn't totally complete over here, and that would be another way of kind of going in there. So,
okay. So there are ways that would be occupied with files outside of improper closing of the file.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. But it's still a good idea, and it's probably still safe to delete those files.
Yep.
Okay.
Once you have, and what I like to do is I don't per se like, oh, Mark, can you bring that back over? I don't like to delete them. What I will do in there is come in here and I'll just make a folder of old. So I can come in here and create a file of old, and let's just do it so we can kind of see the process here.
And this is just in case you needed those temporary temporary files for whatever reason, rather than just deleting them. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, you're gonna have to bring your File Explorer back over.
Yep.
All right. So what we'll do is come in here and make a new folder as old. And we'll copy all these and cut them, except for that one. Oops.
So basically just placing these into that folder labeled old so that you know these are all the unused or old ones.
Yep.
And then once you're safe to delete them, you can probably just delete the entire folder.
Yep. Come on.
And you can see why this is probably a good idea to do this on a regular basis, or at least make sure that this is clear, because look how long this is taking, just for something that I just need to get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. So now in the temporary folder, we don't have any CAM parts or anything like that. Now, if we were to open up that last part, and go ahead and bring over your folder again for me. Okay, so now we can see that that thread milling part, the PRT file is in there, as well as the folder that has all my geometries, operations, everything that's all related to there. Now, if we can get Mark to do this quick enough, what I'm going to do is close out of here, and you'll actually see the file disappear out of there.
I'll do it real quick. So we can do that and then bring this guy up.
So we got rid of the PRT file, and we still have a folder left stuck in there. And maybe we just have to refresh here. Okay, so usually it would have, it looks like it's extracted everything out. It just left the file there for some reason. So what it does is it will take and zip it up. It will take this folder as well as the PRT file, zip it up, and convert it over to that PRZ file for you, which is our SolidCAM compress mode, and then it will save it appropriately where it's supposed to be. So, any questions on the temporary directory and cleaning that up? Yeah. Now, one other thing that I want to show before we run out of time, because I think Scott was talking about it yesterday, is computers. And we may have to carry this on to tomorrow as well, but I really want to go through the computer section with you guys. And Mark, if you could bring over your internet. And let's go to, oh boy, I'm terrible.
Yep, this is why I always ask them to put the email at the end, because I can't talk and type at the same time.
Yeah. All right, so what we do here at SolidCAM, all our guys, is our tech guys as well as our sales guys, as well as the CEO and all them, we come to the Dell refurbished site. So what we do is, well, for some reason, I wonder if it's because we don't want to go to the Canadian one. There we go. Okay, so if you're looking for a laptop or desktop, but what I'll do is I'll come into, and maybe, let me go back one here, and we'll do Dell Precision. Nope, that's not it. Guess I should have made myself presenter. I'm trying to find, Dell's got their own site just for refurbished ones. There we go. Okay, so right here is exactly what we'll do. So what I'm looking for is the big things that I want are, I mean, we can come through and grab your windows. Hard drive size. Now this all depends on how many different softwares you have running on your system. So if you guys are just running SolidWorks and SolidCAM, that's it. You don't need a big hard drive. But if we just do like 1 terabyte, and we want to go for a model, not the latitude, we want to look for the precision. So we can come in here and limit it down by the product, but if we're not sure on what laptop we want to go with, we can go to the hard drive and say we want a solid state. Memory, I would say between 32 and 64, depending on part size for you. And what else am I looking for? I'm looking for video card, and we want to use a NVIDIA card. So now, with that being said, I just told it what operating system, hard drive size, as well as hard drive type, memory, and what kind of video card that I'm looking for. And it automatically pops up. A Dell Precision M7530. So one thing that I always look for is the clock speed. Clock speed is going to be basically your horsepower. And what I'll do is like 4.3 is pretty good. Let's see, these are all 4.3. This one's 4.8 gigahertz, 4.3. Let's go a little bit farther down, 4.6. So the higher horsepower or the higher gigahertz that you have, the better off you're going to be. So another thing is our NVIDIA card. So we have 4 gigabytes of rendering, I guess it is. And let's see what we have up here. Platinum silver, 4 gigabytes. And the numbers right here indicate, so like a T1000, I personally have to look these up, versus a P1000 versus a P620. So a P620 is going to be a very low end video card. So the higher the number, as well as I think usually it's about further along in the alphabet that they go, the better the video card is. Now, one thing is a lot of, we'll get questions on a lot is, well, it's only like a 15-inch screen, which is fine. Both Mark and myself are running laptops. I'm actually running a laptop with the lid shut underneath my desk right now. So we run external monitors. So these units these precision units are set up to run multiple monitors, so you can run that way. Trying to see one thing that I don't like. I'm just trying to nitpick these. So this has got the i9, which is the latest processor, plus it's got 4.8 gigahertz. So this is a pretty good computer right here. Now, if we are doing a lot of very big files or a lot of solid verifying with big files, we may want just a little bit bigger of a video card in here. But I did notice that this is only, oh no, it is 1 terabyte. And this one actually has a secondary drive in here as well, which a lot of these precision laptops do. So you can set up a SATA drive, or a solid state drive to run all your programs on, and then you can run a SATA drive, which is the old school disk for saving your parts on. And that's how I think, Mark, your computer is set up that way. You got 2 different drives in there as well as mine. So all the part files that I save and do are all in my D drive, and everything that I need the performance on, running programs and all that, is going to be saved on my SSD. So now, like I said, these computers, you can see, original price was $2,500. And then now you're getting it for $1,700. We are not sponsored by Dell in any way. We just use them, and this does include all these include a warranty. And with this particular one, you're getting a 3-year warranty with on-site service. So just because you're buying a refurbished doesn't mean that you're getting less of a computer. You're just getting that computer for a whole lot, $851 cheaper than normal. So, and this is, like I said, if you guys come over to this site, I will put the link down to, the link that I'm going to put in the chat for everyone is the refine search. So in there, you will see, that's why I'm trying to copy it over, but it's it's on your computer. You'll have to copy that over. So that will bring you right to this refined search area. And I think, Scott, you were talking that you were looking for a new computer. Scott, are you looking for a laptop or a desktop? laptop. So, yep. And that I personally like laptops as well because, well, both Mark and I do a lot of traveling. Well, not lately since COVID, but these are very nice computers in here. I have the Dell 5530, I think. Mark, you have the 5520, and I also have the 7510 as well. So that's pretty much what our entire tech team is running on, is usually the 5500. So this is a 5540. It's got the i9, 4.5 gigahertz. You will see some of these laptops come up. If we, let's go lowest price. Oh, I did have it set to lowest price. So sometimes you'll catch in here that you'll get a good price, but this will be at like 3.1 gigahertz. And I mean, that's a lot of power that is not there. So if we switch over the reverse, this system, we are running a i9. Yeah, and this one's running 5 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz is fast. I mean, really, really fast. So if we go back to the cheapest one in there, we're comparing like cars. We can go from a Geo Metro to a Mustang. So they do make the Ferraris of these as well, but they really go up in price quite fast. But like I said, this computer, you know, running the latest processor, Windows 10. It's running it's got 2 solid state 1 terabyte drives in there, which is a little excessive. We only need, you know, the 1 solid state and a 1 SSD, I'm sorry, SATA, 32 gigs RAM, 17.3. It's got a Quadro RTX 4000, which is a very good card, and it's got twice as much power, gigabyte, I can't talk, 8 versus 4, which is so it's got twice as much power as that first one that we had pulled up. So it's all basically how much you guys want to stick into it too. You know, you can build your own laptop and from Box Technologies and get a computer that's $5,000. So totally up to you guys on how fast you want it to be and stuff like that. But any parts that you are creating that are 1 foot by 1 foot or bigger, you're really going to want a really good graphics card. So, you know, a 2000 to a 4000, as well as something that's running a little bit faster at gigahertz there. So, and whatever you do, do not go with the Xeon processor. Xeon processors are set up for servers. I don't understand why they started putting these in laptops, but these are set up to crunch a bunch of information simultaneously, but it's not optimized to do it in the fastest route. And we had a couple customers complaining that their computers were so slow, and come to find out they were running the Xeon processor. They traded off the computer, or returned the computer, and got a Intel processor, and it was night and day difference. So don't ever get the Xeon processor.
On that same note, what about the graphics card? Because you notice each one of those ones you're looking at has a Quattro, but some customers, when they call in, they have a different, it's an NVIDIA card, but it's more for gaming, right? That's usually what we see as well, right?
Yep. So we want to stick with the Quadro series, and that's kind of what the Precisions are set up for. So if we go to the cards, you can see that, I can't decide what card. Yeah. So if you guys see, like the RTX series is a good video card for CAD, but they also make cards that you can get the
GeForce.
Yeah, let's go to and I'm just going to go to all drivers. So the GeForce is one that you want to kind of stay away from. The NVS, The Tesla is more geared towards a desktop computer, but definitely stay in that Quadro series. That Quadro series is designed for doing CAD and CAM work, and we can specifically tune those cards to do it there as well. And that's kind of what we showed yesterday when we were right-clicking on Mark's desktop or background and choosing the different options there. So,
dynamic streaming.
Yep. Dynamic streaming. There you go. So hopefully that, I mean, Scott, I know you're kind of more in the market. Does that kind of help out with everything? He's jumping for joy.
Yeah.
Perfect. But any other questions kind of related to computer and speeding? Now, I got long-winded on this this laptop area here just because I really want you guys to have the optimal performance when you guys do get a new laptop. But tomorrow we'll still carry on. There's still some stuff that we can cover to really optimize your SolidCAM and to make things run even faster, especially when it comes to 3D iMachining as well. So that's all I got, Mark, for today.
Okay, great. Well, hopefully that is helpful to everyone else as well. In terms of recommendations or anything like that, you can always give us a call on how to better streamline your specific system. We give you guys kind of like a general idea what to look for, what to clean up. But if you are having specific issues, always give us a call at the main tech support line, and we can always help with your specific issue in terms of cleanup or file locations or anything else that might be slowing down your computer. We'll continue this tomorrow if there's more information we can provide you. But for today, let's just do the closer. So I put my email in the chat section.
Oh, I didn't have to do it this time.
Well, I thought you took over today, so we'd switch roles. So I put my email in there. And if you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions for SolidCAM Live, or even if you're looking for your own personalized training, you can use that email to contact me. For your personalized training, remember we use GoToMeeting on that as well, so it's pretty simple to just take a look at your screen. We can use the phone so you can ask questions live, and those training sessions are based on your schedule. So whenever you are free, regardless of where you are well, I guess you guys are only in the one country, but if anyone on YouTube is listening as well and they're in anywhere in North America, we can schedule the training sessions based on your schedule, no matter what time zone you're in. If you know of anyone that can benefit from SolidCAM, then give them our contact info or put them in contact with us. And then if they go into a demo, you get that $100 gift card as a promotion from SolidCAM Live. If they go to sale, then you get that 20% of the sale. So you can benefit from just letting us know if somebody's interested in getting SolidCAM. I say this every day. We will be continuing this every day until the end of the month, 2 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys have any suggestions, that'd be really helpful. We do have a list of things we can cover every day, but this is for you guys. This is an information session for you guys. So if there's any specific topics you would like to see covered, it doesn't matter what it is, let us know, because it might be something that someone else has a question on that didn't even think about asking that question. So it's always a good idea to let us know what it is that you need to see in these training sessions. But for now, we'll end it here. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Stay safe, keep your family safe, keep busy. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, see you guys.